You think you're safe because you don't watch pornography. You convince yourself that this makes you different, clean, strong. But there is something destroying you faster than any screen lit up at 2 a.m. Something that doesn't show up in public, that leaves no trace in your history, but consumes your will day by day without you noticing. Listen carefully. Don't get distracted. What you're about to discover is no game. These are 4 habits that have settled into your mind so naturally that you think they're part of your personality. 4 routines that sound innocent but turn you into a spectator of your own life. Do you feel that flutter in your stomach? That's your instinct warning you that something is wrong. The signal that you're about to look into a mirror you've avoided for years. Today, you won't hide. Today, you'll understand why you're still the same stuck man you were 5 years ago, even though you keep saying you're working on yourself. Get ready. What's coming isn't comfortable. It's a living autopsy. But before you think this message is only about pointing out your misery, hear this. These 4 destructive habits don't just attack your discipline or your money. They contaminate your identity. The most dangerous part isn't that they make you unproductive. It's that, over time, they convince you that you're incapable of moving forward, that you don't deserve anything more than this mediocre existence, that dreaming is a fantasy reserved for others. Live like this long enough, and your mind builds cages that look like protective walls. You stop aspiring to big things because your brain can't stand the idea of failing again. You tell yourself results don't matter, that you don't need recognition, that ambition is vanity, all of it is a disguise, a mechanism to justify that you gave up before you even started. Have you ever wondered why some men with neither talent nor resources achieve more than those born with every advantage? Because there's an enemy almost no one talks about. An invisible parasite tied to those 4 habits, yet growing on its own. Learned cynicism. It settles in after you've betrayed your own promises for too long. Every time you say you'll take the leap and don't. Every time you plan without executing. Every time you change your goal out of boredom. Every time you get comfortable. Each micro-betrayal accumulates until one day you wake up convinced that nothing is worth it, that no one keeps promises, that everything is a farce. Cynicism doesn't arrive all at once. At first, it's a whisper. Why bother if you'll probably fail? Then it becomes your permanent inner voice. And when that happens, you're screwed. You no longer need a visible vice to destroy you. Now, you are your own saboteur. Cynicism doesn't just steal your ability to dream. It steals your energy to start. Start for what? To disappoint yourself again? To prove once more that you don't have what it takes? This is where most get stuck. A cynical man meets someone who still believes, who still has faith in his possibilities. And he despises him. He mocks him. He calls him naive. Why? Because cynicism needs to feed itself. It must confirm that failure is universal, that there's no way out. If others prove otherwise, cynicism loses its excuse. So you surround yourself with equals. Men who also procrastinate, also pivot aimlessly, also feel comfortable in routine. A perfect circle forms, men congratulating themselves on their lucidity while spending their lives building nothing. Engrave this: cynicism is not maturity, it's not wisdom. It's the evidence that you gave up. Proof that you became incapable of sustaining the uncomfortable effort every transformation requires. If you don't break that pattern, you'll grow old as a sarcastic spectator of your own wasted opportunities. If your skin crawls right now, good. That discomfort means something is still alive in you. A spark that can't stand resignation. A voice that refuses the role of spectator. Do you want to recover that part of you? It won't come from a motivational course or a guru promising easy. It takes a brutal decision. Stop telling yourself stories. Stop justifying yourself. Stop crafting elegant excuses. As long as your mind is busy manufacturing justifications, you remain a slave to these habits. Pornography destroys men, yes. But these patterns do something worse. They make you incapable of believing in yourself. Kill that inner faith, and everything else becomes irrelevant. You don't need anyone to chain you. You become your own jailer. Look inside, without embellishments or excuses. What's left when you remove entertainment, distraction, constant criticism? What hides behind the cynicism you've cultivated? If you feel a hollow in your chest, that vertigo of realizing you've wasted years, don't despise it. That vertigo is the call you've ignored for too long, the last part of you that hasn't been contaminated. Today, you have two options. Close this video and return to the comfort of routine, or admit your worst enemy was never on a screen. He was sitting with you at the table, in your bed, inside your head. Rip it out at the root, or everything you say you want will remain a pretty lie to lull your conscience. Because here's the brutal truth. You don't need porn to nullify your life. Feeding these silent habits is enough to convince you mediocrity is inevitable. And here's another trap no one mentions. The myth of good intention. You think big dreams and beautiful plans equal progress. They don't. Your brain doesn't distinguish planning from action unless you make it clear. Every time you write goals, visualize the future, or talk about what you'll achieve, you release the same dopamine as if you'd done it. It's a biochemical trap, so seductive that millions spend years convinced they're building. They call it mindset, preparation. I call it intellectual masturbation, an artificial stimulation that feels productive while you move nothing in the real world. Worse, this self-deception looks virtuous. No one judges you for refining the plan. 3 months of research earns praise. You're methodical, you have vision. Meanwhile, you atrophy, like watching others live the experiences you won't touch. Same pattern, new mask. Consume instead of act. Each day you repeat it. You convince yourself you're not ready. You need another book, another tutorial, another course. Meanwhile, mediocre men with less preparation leap and pass you effortlessly. Life rewards movement, not the intention to move. Be honest. How many times have you felt exhausted after a day of researching, writing, reflecting, without taking one real step? You were tired, yes, but didn't advance an inch. Overplanning is cowardice in disguise. Fleeing risk while your mouth repeats that you're committed. The longer you do it, the harder it is to admit the only difference between you and the man with results is this. He tolerates the shame of failing in public. You still cling to the fantasy of a perfect jump? No errors, no witnesses. That day never comes. It never existed. Perfection is a story you tell to avoid facing fear. It's easier to perfect ideas than to admit you lack courage. Destroy the fiction that planning is enough. Look into the void behind so much good intention. And only one way out remains: action. That's where transformation begins. Not in notebooks, mind maps, or internal speeches, but the moment you decide to endure ridicule, discomfort, uncertainty. Life won't give guarantees. If you wait to feel ready, to have the right moment, to carry perfect confidence, you'll die waiting. Everything worth having demands an uncomfortable dose of chaos. The more you tell yourself you're not ready, the more you become the eternal preparer. The man who speaks confidently about everything and has built nothing, who criticizes those who try while he stays chained to caution. Ask yourself, how many times have you postponed your life in the name of better preparation? How many opportunities have died while you perfected your strategy? How many projects sit in limbo because it wasn't the right time? Consider the real cost of this disguised cowardice. Not money or time, self-respect. Every time you betray yourself, every time you postpone what you know you must do, your esteem erodes. Lose that, and what remains? Nothing. Just the false comfort of being demanding and perfectionist. Freedom begins by accepting you will never feel ready. The only requirement is a willingness to endure uncertainty. Yes, you'll fail, you'll look clumsy, you'll disappoint some people. Those moments are worth 1,000 immaculate plans that never touch reality. Here's your crossroads. Keep perfecting your lie, or dare to live an uncomfortable truth. No other path, no shortcut, no secret formula. Porn can empty you from the outside, but these habits, cynicism, comfort, overplanning, empty you from the inside. They steal your heart before you've used it. If something inside you still beats, even with anger, good. That part can save you. Because this isn't an attack, it's a mirror. Imagine everything you dream of is available. No external barrier, no money, no context, no talent. Only the inner voice whispering, "Not yet." See it clearly. It's not the world that traps you. It's you. Your refusal to take full responsibility for actions and omissions. Here's the truth you fear. If you admit you're free, you must admit that what you haven't done is your fault. Uncomfortable? Good. Discomfort is the threshold of authenticity. Stay at that edge long enough and something breaks. Not your essence, but your character. The role you've played to avoid exposure, failure, and inadequacy. When that mask falls, you finally see your life with clear eyes. Every minute lost to distraction, overplanning, and postponement is a minute given to nothingness. And nothingness is voracious. It wants you whole. It wants you dead inside, repeating that you'll have time later. You won't. Each day you delay, inertia grows and will weakens. Until one day, you wake up and everything you imagine has turned to dust. No one is coming to save you from yourself. Not me, not a book, not a mentor. It's you versus your cowardice. The loneliest battle there is. Now listen, it doesn't matter how many times you've fallen into these traps, how many years you've been chained to cynicism, the comfort loop, or elegant excuses. If you still have a heartbeat, you still have a chance, not to recover lost time, but to build something that redeems it. Nothing is more powerful than a man who decides once and for all never to lie to himself again. So make a promise while your mind is exposed and your ego writhes. When this video ends, don't distract yourself with more content. Don't retreat into routine. Don't numb this feeling. Do something concrete, a small but real step. Something that costs you. Something your cowardly version tries to postpone. That is the only gesture separating those who keep dreaming from those who finally wake up. If this message was for you, do two things. First, subscribe. You won't find placebos here, only uncomfortable truths that, if you endure them, will change how you exist. Second, go to the comments and write, "I will not lie to myself again." That's how I'll know you're willing to live with open eyes. Before you close this video, take this question with you. What if everything you fear losing is exactly what's preventing you from starting to win? Think about it, sit with it, and when the answer comes, don't bury it under excuses. While others sleep, you can build something that needs no justification. See you in the next video, if you have the courage to come back.